Everybody, it's Kevin. I'm here with Laverne, um, my best friend, who has been for a long time, also a target individual. Say hi, Laverne.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. You're supposed to say hi, Laverne. Anyway,
That's okay.
old joke. So yeah, we just,
Mhm.
we've been talking about doing some sort of a show thing here. Just coming on, not a big thing, just coming on and talking, humanize the thing. Uh,
Yeah.
and then get across what it is that we go through, and maybe it'll kind of ring a bell with somebody else, which would be unfortunate, but there's a good chance of it, obviously. So my name's Kevin. I've been on the forums for a long time. The groups. I've done a couple of interviews. I do a lot of writing. Some of my writing gets read. They do various things to me. I have rheumatoid arthritis that make that really bad. I get very little sleep. That gets divided up every night. I'll probably get I don't know how many hours, but it takes several attempts to make it happen. Pains and aches all the time. I get V2K, but not voices, mostly noises and clicks. Um, let's see, cloudy mind. I know that might be difficult for some people to believe, but it's true. They do it to me severely. Um, it's really difficult. Massive anxiety, emotional problems. Period. Frustration, anger. I've been able to learn how to recognize these things, and just kind of back off. Um, kind of discovered a lot of philosophies along the way that have helped. I disclosed those in the interview I did with David A. But Laverne and I first met probably, what would you say, Laverne, about 5, 6 years ago?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and it was on one of the groups, and we had just kind of kept seeing each other there. We were both positive people, um, both targeted individuals, and she would help me, and I would help her, and then it sort of just eventually turned into we spoke on the phone one day, and it's just been nonstop ever since. We basically talk every day, and have for a long, long time. So she's on one side of the country, I'm on the other. You know, she says tomato, I say tomato. We just call the whole thing off, and move
Yeah, we just
forward.
called the whole thing
Yeah,
off. Thank you.
I
Uh-huh.
love her, you guys. I
Uh-huh.
love her dearly. I tell her every day. Um,
Yes.
and
Thank you, and I love him too.
Yeah, we've got a special thing. We're lucky, and I hope that you guys get some of this sort of thing. And it's something I've been trying to get going with other TIs. I think we should try to get a sense of community going. It's not easy to do, and there's distrust, and I see it, and I have it. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm immune to it. I don't know what's what, and this is the first time I've ever put my face out there. So, but I guess somebody has to do something at some point, and I'm not saying I have the answers, but I'm willing, uh, honest, and open-minded, and that's about all I can think to bring. So, Laverne, I've been talking about myself. Let's hear about yourself and your kind of history with targeting.
Okay, I'll try to do my best here. I realized I was a targeted individual in 2006. I would be in the house, take the groceries to the table in the back, and come back up, and the door would be open. And like silly me, I left the door open again, but I'm not that type of person to leave the door open, so I just stood there looking, and that was the beginning of it. Um, I I moved to a different state to find I have a little boy. Well, he's not a little boy anymore. He's a Marine, and um, Randy's 40 years old now. Um, but he's the best thing God could have sent to me to help me get through this. I never. I have told him that I'm a TI, but I'm not sure if he believes in it or not. And I just try to survive one day at a time lately. I'm beginning to really get bored, and it kind of scares me because I'm not the type of person that usually get bored. But anyway, getting back, my handlers moved upstairs with me, upstairs from me, and I didn't know that, of course, they were gang stalkers or anything like that. They used to go to the house, bouncing, well, not bouncing, but dropping bowling balls and slamming cabinets, slamming other things on the floor. So downstairs I would hear it and be very, well, it was scary. It was. I hate that word, but it was scary. And I decided to relocate, and find myself and my son a good neighborhood, a good place to live. And I wanted to go. My family is in Mississippi, so I went down there, ended up staying down there 10 years. Randy had grown up, so he was okay.
Sorry about that. Please continue.
Am I doing all right?
Yeah, you're doing fine. I'm going to try to hook a speaker up to you. I should have seen this coming, and I apologize, everybody. I've got a big Bluetooth speaker here that should help get her voice out here to us.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and say something now. Let's see where you're at.
Okay, that was good. I hope that's better.
Only marginally, somehow. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna soldier on anyway because we're just bad like that. So, okay, go ahead with your with what you were saying, please.
Okay, I didn't know that you can't get away from them if they follow you. So I moved down south in Jackson, Mississippi to find us a new home. Ended up falling in love, and was down there longer than I thought. And I went through hell when I was down there. It was funny. I would be lying in bed at night, and the motorcycles would start going around the house. And they did this all throughout the night, but in the morning, my family, and they never said anything. They never said, "Did you hear those motorcycles last night?" Nobody ever said a word about it.
Yeah.
And, that was I was like really thrown aback by that.
Well, they make this stuff stick out to us in our minds, but it makes it to where they don't even notice it. They do something to us, our minds and theirs in that instance. Make it stick out to us and make it blend into them.
Okay.
Yeah, very common thing amongst TIs.
Yeah. Even to this day, I dream that I'm going to find a happy place for my son and I to live. My son is 40 now, by the way. So, but in my dreams, he's a baby, and I'm looking for the opportunity to start over because so much has been robbed from me. 10 years was taken away from my life with my son, and I'm very resentful towards them for that.
Right.
I think I'd do better answering questions, though, than to just ramble on, because I'll go on forever.
Oh, well, sometimes, we need a bit of exposition, a little bit of backstory. The thing about being bitter, we have every right to be bitter, but it's not going to help us. We have every right to be angry, but it's never going to be our friend. It's my opinion that emotion, period, is never our friend. Like the butterflies that you get in the pit of your stomach, lawyers find that to be the most useful thing in the world. Everything seems to be fake, and if we base our actions upon emotions rather than cold hard facts, we're doomed to fail. And so
I like to change that word bitter to sadness. Sadness that I lost those 10 years with my son.
Well, I mean,
looking for.
I know a little bit about history, and there's not a single moment in time that I can think of in which people were not being tortured to death and exploited and screwed over. And so this is common to the human condition. It's we're
Mm-hmm.
everybody. If we're victims, then everyone is a victim. You know what I mean? And therefore, victim status there doesn't exist. So basically, we just need to do the best we can to pick things up. The way that I look at things is, worse things have happened to better men, and I just try to stay positive, and it works pretty well for me. I've been trying to convince you of this for how many years now? But see, when I get down in the dumps, you do the same for me. So I think it works out well.
Yeah, it's I'm glad that I have you to speak to when I'm feeling down. I don't know how I would have gotten through this without you. You were really, really good advice, and a truly genuine person. I really appreciate you. Um, yeah, but
Thank you.
it's been all of these years, and they're still around. I'm back from Mississippi for, I think it's been at least 8 years now, and they're still here doing the same old, dropping the bowling balls from overhead, from upstairs. And I had a bit of, in the beginnings, V2K. It was like a garden party, and I could just barely hear it, but I heard people um, like just talking and interacting, and with the music playing. That's what I call it, a garden party. And I prayed harder than I ever prayed before for God to
Mm.
take it away. And I was living with my ex at that time,
Mm.
and when I came out of the room from sleeping and experiencing that V2K incident, my ex says, "Wow, you were really in there snoring really loud and talking in your sleep," and I knew nothing of it. I thought I was sleeping. I could hear these voices in my head, and I was crying and praying, but I don't remember yelling out or anything like that. So,
Mm.
yeah, that was my first experience with V2K.
Yeah, I don't have voices as of yet, but they give me enough of other things that
Me either.
yeah. So I do want to say that I've been one that has talked about community recently. I was at a live video feed either yesterday or the day before that, right? And this woman, it was yesterday. This wonderful woman. I'd never
Okay.
been to her channel before. I'll have to see if I can find her again. But and she had this gentleman came on, and I had seen him before, and I had heard of him before. He's got a channel, and he's on YouTube. And I said hello, and he didn't say anything back. And then later on, he said, communication is so important to TIs. It's like pulling teeth or something along those lines. And so I said, you know what? I agree. Hello. You know, and I still got nothing back. And so then he may have made some sort of flippant comment towards me later on, or may not. But I don't understand this sort of a thing. Why we have to treat each other like this? I looked at his videos, and they were more negatively based than anything. They were trying to attack people, saying that this person was not a target individual or something along those
Yeah.
lines. Whereas none of us have that knowledge. I mean, we can speculate, but I just there's a lot of negativity already. And here's the thing: if we go into this with 100% positive intentions, they're going to put some negativity in there. If you've been in this program long enough, you know that's going to happen. So there's no sense in starting it that way and giving them any help. The way I see things, and I would like to see us be a little friendlier to each other. To be honest with you. I was at another one, one of Lorraine's video feeds, and there were people in the thing, and I don't believe that they were actually TIs. I think that they were, perps. One of them was trying to tell me, trying to give me orders when it came to religion, and I'm like, well, I have a mind I can think of by myself. Thank you. And then I wasn't a popular person there all of a sudden, and so they were dropping little snide remarks, and so I made my way out. I exited stage left, but it's just. And then I spoke to her about it later. Now Lorraine and I have known each other for a little while now. She's read some of some of the work that I've written, and I did end up doing an interview on her channel as well. She's a wonderful person, wonderful, like a heart of gold, and goes to the ends of the earth for animals, and they allow her to do these things. I'm stuck in this room most of the time, and they really limit what I'm able to do. I think it's great that she's able to get out and do the things she can. Speaking of which, you're laid up as well. You don't get to do very much. Why don't you speak about that, Laverne?
I'm sorry. No, I don't. I'm in the house 24/7, nearly 7 days a week. The good thing about it is I don't get bored easily. I don't get lonely. I might feel, I'm going to even say alone. They say there's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that a lot, but I do lately. I'm starting to feel a little bit of what's that like, but I think it's making me feel that this way. And
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's still difficult because you look outside, you see a beautiful sun and trees and everything. And I used to walk, and I love nature. I used to walk through the forest. When my son went off to the Marines, and I was so, I missed him so much, and I do miss that part. But as far as loneliness, somebody told me vitamin D3 would replace all the people get from the sun.
Yeah, there's somebody with
healthy.
It's one of those I don't off the cuff know I should, right, but I don't.
Me either. That's okay.
Yeah, and but I try to get out there. I smoke like a pack of cigarettes a month, if that. And I'm probably the one person that cigarettes is actually good for because it gets me out of the house. I go out in the front yard and I get some sun shining on me and some fresh air and hearing some birds chirping and get some, mean looks from the neighbors, all the good things you're supposed to get when you go out front, and melanoma, what have you, all the good stuff. And plus a little bit of fresh air. So if I didn't do that, and I only smoke about a half a cigarette at a time, so I go out about twice a day. And if I didn't do that, I really wouldn't be getting outside nearly as much. So, as I'm getting, lung cancer surgery, I'll be convincing my surgeon of this, that it was the right thing to do, man.
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store and drive and all that. I don't even do that.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do these days. It's getting much, much harder. They don't want me to. I'm not adjusting so well to the idea of getting the stuff delivered. That's the main thing. Now, I've adjusted to everything else. Like, I had a frickin' Starbucks coffee delivered today, okay? So don't tell me I'm not lazy or that I'm not succumbing to this thing. And it's not the first time it's happened, mind you. Probably the fourth or fifth time. So, yeah, and it's only right down the street. I could jump in my jalopy and be over there in almost no time. But it's still too much, and it really is. I can't be arsed, it just, I don't know, it's a lot to undertake, when the entirety of it is measured. And I'd rather, sometimes you got more money than you do physical ability. And whenever, they're delivering those Starbucks coffees to my doorstep, that's apparently the case.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a laughing matter at all.
No, it is. It is. I mean for it to be a laughing matter. Yeah. See, I make you laugh and then you feel guilty about it. Don't do that. Don't let me do that to you, Laverne.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop doing that.
Yeah, I get away with all
No, I
kinds of
started
things.
thinking about how much I care about you, and I'm like, oh, he must have been in a lot of pain all of a sudden. And then that, switches subjects to, from whatever you're talking about to, oh my God, my friend is hurting. You're hurting, and so.
Well, I'm always
that,
hurting. I just never say anything. I'm probably, well, my pain scale is different than most. Like before I was even, they revealed themselves. You guys, I've had kidney stones more than 12 times. I've had ingrown toenails that turned into massive abscesses. I've had the most painful conditions known to mankind on many occasions. So basically, I look at it like God's boot camp. I was sort of prepared for this. They know this, and so they pour it on. They don't hold back on the pain when it comes to me, And so, and then I'm just stuck with it. What else can I do? I mean, I'm tough, I guess, but that doesn't mean that it's any easier. It still feels the same to me that it does everybody else. It's no nicer, but and that's a frustrating part, I can tell you. I've been so bad that I've just had to call the ambulance to have come and cart me over there. They make my joints really bad. I know that you remember when that happened, and I think it's only happened once since I moved here. So in the past 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets worse from there. There's worse things that they've done to me. Like that's why the physical pain is always there for me, but they don't really consider it to be that effective of a thing for me because it's not. I'm physically pretty tough. It's the other things that they do, the mental aspects. They're not able to wage a psychological war on me so much. I return it too well. But they are to some degree in the sense that of the two things that I wish were available all the time, it would be my left fretting hand because I'm a guitarist and my mind because I like to think. And so they play games with those things. And so, inevitably, they're going to have some level of success doing that.
I see. Yeah, sometimes I think I could get a hobby, crocheting or something like that, but I'm not interested. I should spend a lot of time, more time than I would care to admit, thinking about, I'm really locked up in this program. I'm really, this thing is real, and it just blows me away. It's been in shock. I don't know how long, but I learned to come to acceptance of my situation. I'm a Christian, lean on the Lord for strength, and and He comes through. He hasn't let me down yet, and so this is one day at a time now, one step at a time, since my health is declining. Yeah, all of a sudden, 2 years ago, I just woke up one day and I couldn't walk. I could make steps, but I wasn't walking normally, I should say. So, I sometimes think they have something to do with it. I don't know, I got into a physical fight with my ex of 10 years. No, not 10 years, more like 25 years. And I was staying with him before I went to Mississippi. And he kept flicking his cigarette ash into the ashtray. The whole time I was in there, he just kept doing that until it turned into an argument and we got into a fight. And I fell on my back. And that's where the pain, I feel the pain coming from when I try to walk now.
I mean, you guys got in a fight over a flicking of a cigarette?
No, you have to be there. It's one of those situations.
I guess so. I just think that there's so many things to fight over. A
And
flicking cigarette.
we had never been in a fight ever.
Well, see, that's definitely them doing that. that's them inflaming things in both of you guys. They used to do that to me and my ex all the time. Man, she scared the
Really?
shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. She would come at me like a cannonball, just like, "Bam," you know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, man, is she gonna hit me or what? And so there would be some scuffling. But she would always have to rush me before any of that would happen. And for me, it would all be like just trying to survive. I'm telling you, she had a fiery temper like my burro. I love her
Yeah.
though. She's a, we still talk. We're still good friends. And I'm not trying to make her sound like she's a bad person because she's not. She
Not
was
at
somebody
all.
who was being affected by the target, you know, just like the rest of us. So, yeah.
So they actually made them. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
No, please go ahead.
Okay. They caused him to do that flickering stuff because he was doing it all day, 24/7. Just to it seemed like he was trying to aggravate me or start a fight.
Right.
They have the ability to cause another person to act a certain way.
Right.
That's a question for anybody.
I don't even know that I need that. I remember I broke up with a girl once because, that song, Here I Go Again on My Own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
it.
popular at the time, so that tells you how long ago it was. And she sang it a little too, with too much energy. I swear this is
Okay.
true.
Yeah, very
She,
good.
she sang it with a little too much aplomb from my taste. Next thing you know, she was
Okay.
gone. So, yeah. And I don't know if I was targeted then or not, but if not, then, the,
Uh-huh.
yeah, then I don't need any help, clearly,
Okay.
But,
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said again, day to day. One time I was sitting on my sofa and a plane flew over and I don't know what it was, but something fell on my floor and it weighed at least 50 pounds. It was like a big sack of potatoes.
Hmm.
And I've had strange experiences that I almost have forgotten, but they're still there.
Hmm.
When I talk about it in a group like this, the memory come back. And I don't know if the plane was associated with it or not, but yeah, at the same time the plane flew over, that sound happened.
I used to have the situation in which I had my neighbors above me were doing that sort of thing. Now I live in a house in which that doesn't happen. However, there was a time in which they were making the sounds like somebody was crawling around on the roof.
I got that too.
Yeah, so I mean, and that ain't happening here. So it's bull.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, it's going to happen. That's what sucks. And you get away from them, and then other things happen. You look at Lorraine and her problem. She lives on several acres, and they come and they knock her out. They mess with her animals. They screw up her yard, and and then the neighbors give her a bunch of trouble. This is over in Kentucky, where I'm sure nobody marries their sister. Wink, wink. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All that tobacco chewing, sister marrying, NASCAR watching, stuff. That's overblown.
Okay. Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm a huge bluegrass fan. I've been playing guitar for like 35, 40 years, and bluegrass is one of my types. But I mean, nonetheless, I'm just going by what their behavior is over there. I can't condemn all of them for. But I mean, I'm just saying that when you go into Kentucky, somewhere, I'll bet the targeting has, dueling banjos going on in your head, and your mouth never looks so pretty as it does when you walk into that state. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But no, you guys are doing it great. But
Thank you.
yeah. So no, it's just a shame that that's what she's getting over there. But I mean, it's not like I'm getting it any better over here. my next door neighbor is a special forces, ex-special forces. He was one of the reasons I wrote that piece that I did about military involvement and veterans that are
Yes.
involved. Which, if you haven't read that, I suggest that you do that. It was a pretty well written piece, if I do say so myself. And it was fair and balanced, which is more than I can say about anything that they do. And I tried to give opportunity for them to speak up, and nobody said anything. So, and I account for that in the piece as well. So, but that's available. It's out there. Maybe I'll link it to this, but I don't actually have it. I found my old WordPress, Laverne, from freaking like 10 years ago, and there's some bizarre things on there, some scribblings.
Okay.
I don't know if it's anything that I'm going to keep. Although I did have a pretty interesting thing where I broke down the, the 5 stages of grief. Kubler-Ross.
Okay. Yes.
And the psychological reasons for why that they're correct. That they should exist the way that they, which.
Yes.
I think I may have had a discussion with somebody about this, and then I was like, I can do this again. So I went to go rewrite it, and then I was like, wait a minute, this isn't as eloquent as it was the first time. So I'm kind of happy to be able to find that again.
I'm glad you got it.
But I might,
I'm
if I
glad
can,
you got it.
yeah, if I can find the password to the darn thing, I might start adding to it again, and then posting the stuff there and providing links. But the stuff that I'm talking about here now, this video is being uploaded directly to this group. I think I put that article in this group, so
Okay.
yeah, if anybody's interested
Cool.
in reading it. I like to write material. It looks like there's various types of material. Like a lot of it is visual based. It'll be like meme style things where there's pictures and words combined. That seems to get a lot of eyes in this fast-paced world. That's something that can somehow command our attention still. And then there are there's material in which that is very personal in nature, in which people talk about their personal problems, how it's affecting them, etc. There are articles that are a little less personal, but more about the general ideas, sort of musings, philosophies, but ground level stuff. And then there's tech stuff. And then there are those that would blur the lines as well. I guess I've sort of taken part in all of them. Less of the personal stuff, which makes me come across like I'm some sort of a machine, but I promise you I'm not. And then more.
I'm still not quite convinced, but I'll let you continue.
Well, more. I mean, there's reasons for that, but I mean, more of the technical stuff recently. I don't have a background in tech, but I like to study, and so I've done a lot of catching up recently, and
Okay.
yeah, and learn some of the things that matter when it comes to us. I think a lot of the parts of the tech are. Well, I mean, it's probably all important, but some of it is very specific to us, and those are the parts that I try to bring to people's attention. And it goes over a lot of heads. I mean, it does me a lot of times when the other tech people do their thing. So I've tried to buckle down now, and really pay attention to the stuff that they write. I'm like, God, they're going out of their way to do this for us, and I'm gonna sit here and buckle down, and even if it makes my head hurt, my hat's looking all lopsided. I got this hat free on my birthday, you guys, so don't judge me. This is not a Stetson, okay? This is not made out of fine cowhide or responsibly grown straw or something. It's probably plastic. All right, so I'm not a true cowboy. All right, I just play one on TV. So, but I like it. I like to wear it out in public. Who else is going to wear theirs, right? I'm corny like that. I wouldn't say I'm corny. I think life is for living, and
That's right.
Yeah, and I really I do all sorts of things. You never know what I'm going to be wearing or how I'm going to dress up. But I don't get to get out that much anymore. So my thing was for the longest time dressing like I had my whole wardrobe was out of the 70s, and some of it still is. I enjoy that kind of stuff. When I was pursuing more academic stuff, I looked more like a college professor, which I arrive at honestly, I believe, because apparently my daughter. She tracked down my genetic parents. Apparently, they're both college professors.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah, that's awesome.
well, I mean, it is what it is. If it was awesome, they wouldn't have given me up. But I'm not going to judge them.
Well, that part is awesome.
Um, but yeah, I don't know why I'm getting into all this. Yeah, talk for a little while, Laverne. I've got diarrhea in my mouth.
You know me. I don't have much to say. I'm more of a listener than a speaker. But I think in my handler, I just see him, and I know what I remember what he looks like and everything. At the first apartment I lived at, and he tried to make me quote unquote like him, and I never did. And I used to see him giving out hand signals and stuff like that, always with his hands up to his chin, and we wondered what he was doing. And the way I found out about gang stalking through reading about bad neighbors, because when he told me that he was going to move upstairs from me, I almost fainted, because I knew this was not a man of God, to say the least.
Right.
And he was going to move upstairs from me, and I knew that hell was on its way, but I never knew that hell could be so bad.
Yeah.
And then he gave me the flashing of the headlights in my window thing, typical of the TI
brighting.
get, and brighting, right. And slamming the kitchen doors, and I went through hell in that place, and I never knew that there was a bowling ball sound going from one corner of the room ceiling to the other one, coming from upstairs.
Right.
It touched all four corners, but it never happened when my son was there.
No. Right.
And then that didn't mean nothing to me,
Yeah.
before. But then I realized when I was a TI, that was just for me to hear.
Right. Yes. Hey, why don't you talk about what happened recently? Now, without revealing any names, I heard that somebody tried to send you something, and there was some confusion. You got a package in the mail.
Oh my gosh. Well, someone I consider a very close friend, tried to send me some, are you sure it's okay to talk about?
Well, some of it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not good at telling
You don't have
stories.
to. You don't have to. How about just the problems, the confusion, and everything that goes through? What?
Yeah. There's a lot of confusion, a lot of problems. I just sit here sometimes. It's really not in disbelief. That's my thing. That I'm involved in something like this.
Well, but you got a package then, and but you can't get it where you live because you're in assisted living. She's even more laid up than I am, and so it had to go to her son, right?
Yes.
And then he brought it to you. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And then and you weren't sure that everything was in there, and were under the impression that it had been. Oh, actually, it had been opened, right?
It had been opened already?
Yeah. Didn't you say it had been opened? That your son had opened it?
Well, he didn't open anything. I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Oh, I thought the box had been opened because he had.
Oh yeah. The package he did.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the box
whole
I'm talking
package.
about. Yeah, the
I
package.
thought you meant things on the inside.
Should I refer to it as the package from now on?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
I'll call it the package. Okay, so the package was opened. So I mean, that's enough to send the mind of a TI wondering. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so by the time it got to her, she wasn't sure everything was in there, and went searching for some things, and it was under. It
Yes.
looked like some things had been replaced, and one thing was missing completely. But that thing was eventually found about a week later, wasn't it? It was in the package
Yes. There's no
the whole
package.
time.
No.
It was just hard to see. Now, my point that I'm getting at is this: is that they confused you and made you feel like, you know what I mean, like you had searched through the whole thing to your
Yes.
to
Yes.
completion when you actually hadn't. This happens to me, this sort of a thing, you know.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
That's a good example. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Uh-huh.
right, it happens quite a bit. I mean, man, I do some dumb things, you guys. I know that my minds are off in the clouds. My mind's off in the clouds, but that means that it's not down here for any of this stuff. You know, I do some real
Yeah.
dumb things, man.
No,
And
what
it
the
costs me
thing is
money, and
Mm.
just boneheaded stuff. It just I've learned to practice acceptance with that. I feel like the trade-off is worth it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and
I
I
think
try to.
it's quite the opposite. Your mind is definitely there. It's obviously that you're above average intelligence, and I think with all that you go through, I wish that I could think of so quickly as you and remember and recall and stuff like that. But I guess it has an effect on me, and I end up talking like that.
Well, it's just that, like, but my mind is always off somewhere else far away though, and therefore it's never present in the moment. You know what I mean? So that's where all these bonehead moves come from.
Oh.
I do the best I can. I try, but when it comes back down to the moment, they cloud my brain, and then so I'm just really not good at this stuff. I always had a girlfriend, to help. Try. They let me do my, let my mind go off and wander and help keep me grounded. And when that
Yeah.
went away, I'm just doing the best I can. So
I think you're doing a great job with everything. I really do.
well, that's because you're on that end of things. No, I try. I mean, I don't know. All I can do is the best I can do, and I take that attitude with me. And when I fail, I'm okay with it, and when I succeed, I'm okay with it. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we should. That seems like it's a pretty good time to start winding things down. That went pretty well. What do you think, Laverne?
I think it went pretty well. I think I'm more comfortable than I thought it would be.
Me too. So I mean,
And,
we'll see how well it's received. If
Okay.
if our demanding public, makes it clear that. That more of this is necessary, well then, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
But I mean, or we
Well,
might
good.
want to consider maybe moving to YouTube or Rumble or something along those lines. I don't know about YouTube; they're so censorious, and I don't like the idea of
Okay.
even supporting that sort of a thing. But Rumble, on the other hand, is something else. So, but we can talk about it, But hey,
Okay,
thank
great.
you guys for tuning in and everything, and God bless all the TIs.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, go ahead and say
Thank you.
say goodnight, Gracie.
Thank you, everybody, for listening.
All right, talk to you all later. Bye bye.
Okay.